it's all about those little ones, those children, so that we can stop and make changes in this generation, so that the next generation will begin to see the result. And the way we're going to do that is by coming together like this.
I really want to begin by sincerely thanking Elder Danette Ristool for those powerful words, her passion, her wisdom, and the enlightenment you bring to this day, reminding us that our work is ultimately about people and their lived experiences, not just laws and policies. We must listen to the voices of our youth and remember that their personal information is not just their data, it's their stories. And by listening to their stories, we can ensure that the work we do reflects their lived experiences as individuals.
Today we're here at the Insights to Impacts workshop, which is exploring Part 10 of the Child, Youth and Family Services Act. Well, I think one of the reasons it's incredibly important is because the protections under Part 10 of the CYFSA relate to some of the most vulnerable individuals in the province. These, of course, are youth who are or have been in care, the child welfare system, and so I think protecting their information and also ensuring that they have some ability to access that information and there's some transparency about that, how that takes place is just incredibly important.
Part 10 of the CYFSA introduced a comprehensive framework for managing personal information in the child and youth sector. But as everyone here knows, Part 10 is not just about compliance. It's about trust. It's about ensuring that children, youth, and families can feel confident that their personal information will be handled with care, respect, and dignity, even in the most challenging of circumstances.
It's important for children who are receiving services under the CYFSA as well as their families to understand their rights to privacy and access. I'm hoping the audience will come away with a better understanding of the changes to the CYFSA and the personal information regulation and other requirements for service providers.
We've talked about during the day several emerging issues that's already influencing privacy obligations and understanding. We talked about new contexts in which we're working. We talked about technology, AI, truth and reconciliation.
I think that a young person can tell when their information is taken seriously when they are met with understanding that, their words and personal information hold meaning to the receiver.
Again, it's that holistic approach that many of our First Nations and ultimately our agencies' service models have always spoken to as well.
And privacy is no longer just a theory.
One of the key messages I want to leave with you all today is that privacy and access are not the responsibility of one single role or position. It is the shared responsibility that runs through every part of an organization. Building a culture where personal information is handled appropriately and where individuals can meaningfully exercise their rights requires more than just written rules. It requires clarity, consistency, and ongoing dialogue. Exactly the kind of dialogue we hope to foster here today, when we can all come together to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and learn from one another.